Hi, and welcome to a special edition of Jules Voto's Photo Focus. This video is in response to some comments I received on my video titled, "How does high ISO noise compare between the Nikon D810, Z6, and Z8?" First, I just want to thank everyone for their comments. I appreciate comments, whether they are positive or negative. I'd like to hear your thoughts always. And also, I got a lot of views on this video. I thank you for watching. But there were a few comments in particular that I want to respond to. First of all, was one person who said that I was confused when talking about pixel size, and that it's not pixel size, it's photo sites. And that person is absolutely correct. I was confused by that. I confused pixels with photo site size. The important thing is the photo site size. The larger the photo site, generally, the less noise. I will be the first to admit that I am no expert on the inner workings of digital cameras, and I was confused using the word pixels in place of photo sites. So I apologize for that. I apologize to anyone who I confused on that, and I hope enough of you who saw my original video will see this video, because a lot of times what happens, you put out the first video, or another example would be an article in a newspaper that gets something wrong. The next day they print a correction, but many people never saw the correction. So I just hope that many of those who saw the original video will see this for clarification. So again, thank you to that person for pointing that out, and I welcome your criticism and your corrections. I don't always get it right. I do my best to get the facts straight. An example will be the Nikon F. I know a lot about the Nikon F. I've been using that camera for 50 years. But anytime I do a video on the Nikon F, I will go check my facts. But obviously I didn't do it in this case. Now, just one more thing on that. A good person to look up is Tom Hogan. Tom Hogan is an expert on digital cameras. I have two of his ebooks, one on the Z6 and one on the Z8. I believe the one on the Z8 is around 1,000 pages, and he goes into detail on how digital cameras work, explaining the sensor and photo sites and the whole 9 yards. So I highly recommend Tom. I don't get any kickback from Tom. I don't know Tom personally, but I think his books are amazing. So check out his website, just search for Tom Hogan. And I read his books, and there was a lot of information in there. But what's most important to me about a camera is the basic workings of it, how to get the best possible images. So I kind of gloss over some of those technical details sometimes, and just go to what will get me the best possible image. Now, another person said that my test was invalid because I shot JPEGs and that I should have shot RAW. Well, and he stated correctly that JPEG images are processed in camera. That's true. But if I shot RAW, I would have needed to process the images in a RAW converter. And different RAW converters process images differently. In fact, there was a Nikon NPS online event I watched, I guess it might have been last year. And one of the speakers said to get the lowest possible noise with the Z9, to use Nikon's NX Studio software. So I don't know if that's true or not. I would think it may be, but different RAW converters may show less or more noise. And then you have so much control when you convert in a RAW converter. You can control the noise, you control a million things. So I felt it would be better to shoot in JPEG. And just to reiterate what I stated in the video, everything was set the same on each of the 3 cameras. They were all set for fine JPEG. I took an incident light meter reading. The exposures on each camera were exactly the same for a given ISO. I did a custom white balance off a gray card for each camera. The picture control was set to standard. And the high ISO noise reduction was set to low. And what I wanted to try to do was to duplicate what you may do when using your camera. Now, depending on what I'm shooting, I will almost always shoot RAW. The exception is when I have complete control of the lighting, such as in a studio situation, let's say doing headshots, I'll shoot JPEG. And I know professional sports photographers on deadline, or even news photographers on deadline, will shoot JPEG because they need to get those pictures up immediately, send them back to the office for publication. But generally, I will shoot RAW for events, outdoor photography, travel photography, macro photography, because I know I have so much control. RAW images you could think of as a digital negative. So I disagree with that person. I respect your comment. However, I disagree. So I think since you're going to process them anyway in the RAW converter, why not just shoot JPEGs for this test? Our end product is always a JPEG. If you're shooting for a client, you don't send them RAW files, you send them JPEGs. If you're sending your pictures off to be printed, you send JPEGs. If you're putting them on Instagram or Facebook or any other social media site, you're using JPEGs. So I don't think that invalidates the test because I use JPEG. Now, could I have gotten less noise if I had converted each of those images in a RAW converter? Yes, but I don't think that would have done anything for the comparison since they were all shot as JPEG in camera. Now, one other thing concerning RAW images and Lightroom. If you're using Lightroom, what I suggest is you go to Preferences and under Presets, set Lightroom to use camera settings, not Adobe defaults. And that will give you images closer to the Nikon settings in the camera as far as your picture control and other things. So in wrapping up, I just want to apologize for any confusion that my confusion may have caused you. And I must say, there are many very intelligent people who know more than me on YouTube. So anytime you watch one of my videos and you say, hey, he's wrong here, it's absolutely wrong, please contact me. I don't claim to always have all the answers. Like I said, I try to get the facts straight, but sometimes I mess up. So thank you for watching. I am now publishing videos on both Mondays and Wednesdays, so look for them. My next video will be comparing Nikon's 35mm 2.0 AIS lens to a 35mm 2.8 pre-AI. So please, even though I messed up this time, please subscribe to my channel, and I will talk to you next time.